I'm going to teach you how to actually get jacked, how to actually get in shape, and it's not what you think. And if you're not able to make it to the end of this short video, then it just shows me, and most importantly, it shows yourself that you're not willing to take your goals, your fitness, and your life seriously. This is an important matter, and you need to listen. And if you don't, if you're not ready, then just click off right now, because I don't want unserious people watching my videos. Now that we only got the serious ones, I want you to listen to this. It has nothing to do with what everyone else out there talks about. Everyone talks about how to lift, eccentric, go slow, how to control the weight, lift more weights, you lift heavy, high volume, low volume, more frequency, all this nonsense, what diet to go on, and it has nothing to do with any of that. The number one thing I've seen hold people back over and over and over again isn't not even only in fitness, but in so many areas of their life. And I know you're gonna fucking hate me for saying this, but it has to do with the character, your identity, how you view yourself, and most importantly, your self image. And nobody talks about this. Nobody. This is something I've studied for hours, from the greatest people that have achieved massive success in their life. I just like to study what was it that made them click and just download that same operating system that they used and to implement it in their life and finally get some results and finally achieve what they were looking to achieve. And I used this and I was able to rewire the same way I was able to put on over 30 pounds of muscle within 3 months after literally having an ACL surgery. And I did it unconsciously. And it wasn't until I looked back on what I did and it was exactly that. Now, now here's the thing. Now, yes, diet is important. Yes, lifting is important. Yes, of course, this is important. But understand that there is two 80-20 rules when it comes to fitness. 80-20, 80% being that you get 80% of your results from your diet and 20% from your actual training. But there's another 80-20. 80% is actually your subconscious mind and your identity, your habits, your behavior, and 20% the diet and training together. Now, 80%, how do you fix this? I'm going to explain to you why you keep self-sabotaging, and let me know if this sounds like you. You start off in the gym, you start getting some results, and next thing you know, you're 2 weeks, you maybe even a month, even 2 months into it, and you fall off. Oh, you've lost all your gains and you're back to zero. You get back in the gym. After a couple months go by, you dust yourself off and you're back in the gym. Get back in the gym, and guess what? Boom, you fall off again. Why do you think this is? Now, this isn't a mistake. This isn't even something you might say to yourself, fuck, I keep falling off. I need to lock in. No, this year's the year. This year's the year you lock in. This year's the year I lock in. Because your whole life, you are trying to rewire an old identity, an old character with new beliefs and new actions. And these two identities just go at each other back and forth until the new one finally takes over. And once this new identity takes over, you're a completely changed man. You're a different person. You walk different. You speak different. You're completely different. And what can you do? All you have to do is literally just stay consistent and persist in the new feeling, in the new assumption, in the new identity, in the new assumption of that identity. Once you have impressed your subconscious mind enough with enough experiences that your subconscious mind starts to believe that you are now this new identity, the rest is taken care of. You automatically start going to the gym. You automatically just start going to get your meals. And this way, you're not being pushed to go and get your goals. You know, you stop this force nonsense. Force. Just go, go, go. Be motivated, man. Just push hard. Just focus and go. Lock in. Instead, you're actually pulled. You're motivated. You're pulled by your goals. You automatically wake up and you're like, you know what, man? I'm going to the gym today. I'm getting my meals in. Why? Because this is who I am. This is part of my new identity. Now, and to understand why you've been stuck for so many years is because your whole life, you need to understand how this initial loser self-image that you have was first created. It was created by past experiences, especially experiences in your childhood, in your past, that created negative emotions in you, within you, and these emotions started to create a belief of who you believe you are. So, say for example, you're always a skinny kid or the fat kid. Say you, for example, you were the fat kid. Oh, and you even make jokes. Oh, I'm just a fat kid. Oh, this and that. Other people calling you a fat kid. You're eating so much food. Oh, wow, you're eating a lot, aren't you? All of this contributes to the negative self-image of that's who you view yourself to be. The guy who eats a lot, the guy who skips the gym, the guy who's lazy. So how can you rewire and actually change this negative self-image into a positive one? You do the same thing that you did to construct the negative one you have right now, you do it, but for the future one. But now you may ask yourself, okay, so I need to take action, but like say for example, you want to be a millionaire, right? How do I get the identity of a millionaire if I don't have $1 million and I have to get the $1 million, right? Now I want to explain something to you. All right, I know I'm talking about money, but now I'm going to tie it back into fitness. Now, I want you to understand something. Your subconscious mind it is impersonal. It accepts what you tell it, joke or not, fact or not. What you tell it and what you make it believe, what you impress upon it over time, over and over and over again. So say for example, you start impressing your subconscious mind with new experiences. But how do you do it without actually living it in the real world first? This is where I explain to you that your mind does not know the difference between a scenario or a scene and mental imagery that is vividly imagined to something that actually happens in real life. So remember what I said, the negative self-image you have right now was developed by negative experiences. So all you have to do is imagine vivid positive ones. Whatever causes and evokes the most emotions within yourself. Let's say, for example, you're extremely skinny, like I was, and you want to put on shape, you want to get in shape, you want to put on mass, you want to put on muscle. Maybe it's to flex on an ex-girlfriend you had. Maybe it's to make the bullies from stop picking on you. Whatever it is. Now create a scenario that evokes very strong, heavy emotions within you. Whether that is you go back to school and you close your eyes and you visualize and you imagine a very vivid scenario of you going back to school, everyone looking at you as you go down the hallways. Wow, and people telling you, wow, dude, you got big. What the hell did you do? You're jacked now. What was it that you do, man? What cycle are you on? And just imagine the emotions running through your body. And whether it's attention from other girls looking at you. Wow, you're a complete different person. You literally, your subconscious mind believes you just lived that experience. And so once you do that, once this mental imagery will impress upon your subconscious mind, with it will impress the new identity of this Jack guy. And what happens? You're going to start acting like him. But you need to be consistent with this. Do it every single day. I do it every single fucking day, morning and night. I write down my goals. I visualize it. I don't just talk to talk. I actually do this. And that's how I was able. And I did it. That's how I was able to put on 30 pounds of muscle within 3 months after my surgery. And it was something that I thought about afterwards that I did unconsciously. What I did was whenever I didn't want to go to the gym, oh, my hair's fucked up. Whenever I didn't want to go to the gym, I would just visualize the the future version of myself that is insanely grateful and happy and jacked and strong and confident, putting his hand out and pulling my future skinny ass self into the future. And so that made the emotions of the new guy that he exists, it's real. And that instills that belief within yourself. And then you just do this over and over and over again, morning and night, morning and night. You set your mental compass at the beginning of your day. You reset it at night, right before you go to bed, and you take that feeling into your sleep, where it passes now into your subconscious mind. You wake up a different person. You keep doing this. If you hit this correctly, you will literally see yourself waking up early and just taking inspired action to go to the gym, to go get your meals in. It's the only thing that I've seen that works over all this other nonsense, over meditating, over cold showers, over journaling. I swear to God, it's the only thing I've seen that actually, literally, physiologically changes you almost immediately. I've changed my life completely doing these techniques. And so that's why I'm so sick and tired of seeing so much nonsense out there, of just the same repetitive nonsense thrown at you, when literally, after studying for hours, just spending thousands of dollars to learn what I've learned, of in just studying people, what was it? What was the catalyst that made them change? How do they think? And just install that same operating system into you so that you can achieve the same results in anything you want to do. Like, I've used the same techniques, for example, to move from Canada, super cold and corrupt Canada, to now living in Colombia, working an amazing job that I love, from, working from here in Colombia, make it bank, like living here, escaping that nonsense, to using the same techniques to get in shape, to change even other aspects of my life, like literally. And it's just about developing that new identity. Like, I went from skinny to jacked within 3 months, and I had militant like discipline. I completely transformed who I was from the inside out. And then, from so many times visualizing that same character, and it was only a couple minutes a day, and I did this unconsciously. Like, and I realized that any goal that I achieved in my life, any goal that I set myself to accomplish, and that I ended up achieving, I realized I always did the same thing. For example, in high school, I was doing bad in school. Then every time I was walking by the honor roll, I would just visualize my name on there. Next thing you know, next year I was on it. And same thing, I was going to the gym. I'd step on the scale, I'd visualize the number higher. Every time I'd look at myself in the mirror, I didn't see the skinny version looking at myself. I saw the jacked version looking at myself. And then a couple months later, boom, there I was. It's just about changing that identity, because when it's understand that it is a upwards spiral of positive feedback loops. Like, I know that was a mouthful, but just hear me out, because you start seeing yourself like that. You start stepping into that identity, you start taking the actions of that identity, and all that, and that action gives you the results of that successful person, of that identity, which just feeds right back into itself, which makes you take even more action, if that made sense. So everyone's like, listen, I went from skinny to jacked. What did I do? I ate in a caloric surplus. I was focused on progressive overload week by week, increasing my reps in the gym, increasing my sets, whatever it was, increasing my weights, eating a caloric surplus. I was eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, per pound of body weight. What was the only difference this time from all the other times that I was trying to get in shape? The difference was that I actually stuck to it this time, and I completely changed myself from the inside out. Like, I was a complete different person, the way I walked, the way I talked, the way I spoke, the way I carried myself through life. So this is the information I wanted to give you, so you can take it, you can run and do the same exercises that I gave you, so you can change your life the same way I changed mine. And if you want to see more, a full, complete breakdown on building out a complete new program to take you from point A to point B, where you literally just have to do 5 to 10 minutes of the techniques or exercises that will literally just start making you do the other hard stuff, where it will just come natural for you. Going to the gym every day, going to the gym when you don't want to, having your meals when you don't want to, doing that type of stuff, because all you need to do is rewire yourself. You do that, and it's just a 3-part system. And if you want to learn more about it, building out a new program, click that link in the description. Join. I want to see you in there so you can help me build it exactly for you. Tell me what you need, and I'll give you exactly what you want. Click that description, and I'll see you on the inside. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you. Let's freaking go.